Alright, and here we have a customer's M1A. They ordered a Sage stock, and we are going to tear this down and put a Sage stock on for him. So first thing we're going to do is remove the trigger group. Just got an Allen key. Little hole in the back of the trigger group. Pull the trigger guard down. Wiggle it out. Take your stock off. I'm going to take tension off your operating spring. Push that pin out of the way. You just leave that over and that'll stay out of the way. And we're going to remove your operating rod. So you got a notch back here. There's a circle cut in and then a notch cut in. Get this right about where that notch cut in is. Wiggle her around. Wiggle it around, it'll come out of there. We're going to take your bolt, bring that up and out. Now for your trigger, or your handguard here, your upper handguard, it's slid into the retaining clip here, and then this piece of metal there's cut-ins in the barrel. You'll see when you take it off. You just pry one side out. You can see the groove cut in there. It's cut in both sides. Pull your upper handguard off. Now on the front side of your flash hider, in your front sight, there's going to be a locking Allen screw. I've already taken that out. You need to take that out to get your flash hider castle nut off. So to take your castle nut off for your flash hider, you're going to need these castle nut pliers. I broke it free off camera. But it's just got two little nubs, one on each side that go in your castle nut cuts. Spin her off there. And you can watch the flash hider walk off with it. And then she's free spinning. Wiggle that off without punching the camera, hopefully. Alright, now your flash hider's off. 3/8 inch socket. I have the extension on, because if you just hook it up here, your ratchet hits the barrel. These can be on tight. Needs a little cleaning before she goes back together. Now this can be tight too, just counterclockwise. I pre-broke this before too. Try not to waste your time as much as possible.
And so the hammer's not falling apart. And if you loosened up that spring, it might fire a single action, or it may not fire reliably on double action. Keep that in mind, and that's probably will not send you a bill for that piece of information. So, you should have yourself put up that. Round up payment schedule,
And the last thing we got to do is pound this pin out. Now that the pin's out, gotta hammer that off. There we go. And then we'll come back with you for the reinstall. Well, the install of the new stock and all the components. Alright, now that our op rod guide block is on, put a punch in there to get it lined up with the roll pin cut in the barrel. So everything's lined up in there. Went on easier than I thought, so just tapped it on the sides with the rubber mallet until I can get this through, so we got that lined up. Okay, so then we'll put our roll pin back in. Okay, so we're good there. Now, like I said, it's concave. One side's bigger, got a bigger outer diameter than the other. The bigger outer diameter's got to go towards the receiver. So we're going to slide this on here. That'll go there. And all that's doing is taking up the space of the handguard band there. Put our gas system back on. Now you're going to have a machined edge and a finished edge. The machined edge is going to go towards the gas block. Now when you're putting this on here, you're going to get it down snug, and that's it. go. Put our gas system plug in. Once we get this lined up right. There we go. Oh, don't do that now. Don't forget your gas piston. The flat end goes towards the barrel. And like anything, don't cross thread it. Let's and you get that nice and tight. You ain't gotta kill it, just tight. And then well, we'll do that last. Oh, and something I did want to mention. When you're doing the handguard, the upper part, I did pry these off here at the same time. You could have took all this apart first and slid it off. It does raise up in them cuts, allowing you to pull it out. Just thought I'd throw that in there for anyone who would rather do it that way. So we're going to take and put our bolt back in. So that looks good. Put our op rod in. And it goes right back in that little slot that you took it out of before. Just got to get it lined up in there. Without pinching your hand in the bolt. There we go. It's not lined up 100%. Don't want to have binding, so let's knock that over a little. Still binding a little. There we go. Quick adjustment. These screws you put in, they clamp down on the barrel too, so that's going to tighten things up a lot more. So now everything's lined up, so when you tighten that down, you'll be good. Put our op rod spring and guide rod back in. Now before you do this, moving this around, you knock this pin over. Just make sure you have it open or you ain't going to get this back in there. So you get that in there. You get that back in, push it forward a little bit so the hole's there, lined up, good to go. Everything's functioning like it should. Now we can put we took the flash hider off. The customer wants this muzzle brake. He supplied it himself, so I'm not sure where he bought it from. You just take your castle nut, slide it in there, and you can see how there's cuts on here. That lines up your muzzle device, and there is cuts in the barrel itself to line your gas block up. So you can't mess that up unless you really try. We'll spin this down on here. Get our castle nut wrench on here. Torque it down pretty tight. That will be good. And then you just need to tighten down your lock screw, and then it can't back out on you. Get that tightened down, then you're good to go. That just lines in one of your castle nut holes, locks down your castle nut, and then that can't come off. Now the company says the stock is going to be a little tight fit, but you want it to be anyway, because this is all going to make this a free floating mechanism pretty much. So let's get the customer's information off of here. Don't need to be sharing that with everybody. And it is a tight fit. Take the old rubber mallet. Just working it in there. Alright, holes are lining up, so we'll throw those in. Now that's going to tighten up that block I was telling you about, so that tightens it right down to the barrel and everything. Sorry, gotta use the other hand to keep getting in the way of the camera. Okay, so that's that. Put our trigger back in. Alright, and then you're just going to push this down to lock it in. Nope, I'm not seated all the way. So you're going to make sure you get your receiver down to the stock here. Where you slide the trigger in, you're going to feel a little resistance closing this. You don't want a lot, you don't want to break anything, but you want a little bit. And just like that, push it back and in. Alright, so the receiver's locked down. Or the trigger group, sorry. So we got a fat wrench. They recommend you torque these to 25 to 30 pounds. So it's about 27 pounds right in the middle. Now we're going to drop this down to Just below 25. They recommend 22 to 25 for the upper handguard. So, get this spun the right way. Now they recommend also that you go corner to corner. You want to tighten them down evenly. Set up the camera a different way. I keep getting, I'm a righty and I have it on my right side, and I keep getting my arm in the shot. So we'll try to do this with the left. All learning, all learning. We'll get this set up. So now we're going to torque these down, like I said. 22 to 25 psi they recommend. Yeah, psi. Pounds per square inch they recommend. Okay, and that's fully reassembled aside from the front sight, which we got to take off the flash hider and put on here, but it's basically your fully reassembled Sage kit for your M1A. Remember to like, subscribe, and share with your friends. We're on Facebook, Instagram, and any of your firearm needs on C&C Armory L.L.C.com. Comment in the video. Tell us what you like, what you didn't like. Still learning and getting better at this video stuff. And come on in and see us, where we'll treat you like family.